begin in just 1 minute. I didn't want you to have to wait, so I know how it is sometimes when you think, is there anybody there? So we're just touching up a couple things real quick, and we're going to get everything started. So give us just 1 second. So let's see. Sid, I know I just talked to you. Are you here?
Oh, yeah, buddy. I'm always here.
I hear you, man. Okay. Excellent, you guys. Let us know if you can hear us okay, and we'll begin in just a minute. We're going to do our best to keep this to 30 to 45 minutes. We're going to talk about pricing today, and we're going to let you know kind of what the plan is for the additional couple of calls we're going to do. We'll talk about that for a minute. And appreciate it. I see a lot of the names that were on the call last night with us. We appreciate your time. Yep, if you're here and you can hear us, just let us know that the audio is okay, and then we'll... Oh, they're on hold, Sid.
What do you mean?
I thought it started. It was weird. I heard the noise like it was starting, but there's nobody. It didn't start.
You ready?
That was hilarious. I swear I heard it say.
I heard it start too.
It must have been Leanne logging in. I heard it through your cell phone or something.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay,
Well,
so go ahead, Sid.
I'm going to tell on you.
Yeah, you can tell them. That was pretty damn funny, actually.
We just did about 5 minutes worth and realized we didn't even start it.
Yeah, we're talking away, and I'm like, Annette, I wanted to tell you thank you for joining the call last night, and
yeah.
Oh my God.
And you were doing so good, Brian.
Yeah, Annette, Michelle, etc. Yeah, that's funny. Sorry, guys. Starting in just a second. Let us reboot. Yeah,
he even said, listen, I don't want to leave you guys out there waiting because I know what it's like to look at a blank screen. You feel kind of lonely. Well, yeah, they felt lonely because we never started it.
Yeah, I do. I said, hey, let's be exactly on time. We started, and I kept trying to get somebody to give us an audio and let us know if it was okay, and no one was responding. And I'm thinking, man, this is weird. Hey, Norm. Okay, so what I said a minute ago is we're going to keep this call relatively brief, 30 to 45 minutes. Got some feedback asking for an hour or less. We are, quick housekeeping right now, we are going to do some additional calls beyond the original 4. We've got a case study interview. We've got, this is with an couple contractors, and then we have 2 or 3 people that are having a lot of success that agreed to come on and kind of share and just share some updates. So at the very least, we'll do those 2 additional calls. And then if you guys have some good ideas on things you want to hear or want to talk about, we want to do it. So we will totally do that. So Sid, man, let's do it. Let's just get this thing moving.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. We're going to talk a little bit about pricing strategies today, right? Because, you know, in different scenarios, like, you know, we've talked about doing a pay-per-call method, which is brilliant, really. I mean, that's where you're going to make the real money. But there's also certain times that you might want to charge a flat rate. Now, in automotive, I know 100% for a fact you got to charge a flat rate. And I've used this example many times before, but I'll say it again in case there's anybody that hadn't heard it. I had a GS 400 Lexus, right when they went from the 300 and then added the 400. It was about 4 years old, but it had 140,000 miles on it. We stole it. I mean, I think we gave like 10 grand for it. Anyways, I turned around and advertised it on autotrader.com for $11,995. When I came back in Monday, they said, do you realize you got 360 calls over the weekend on your Lexus? I was like, wow. So I did what any good car guy would do. I removed it, ran a retraction, and relisted it at $17,900 and sold it. So, but if I would have been charging, you know, if I'd have been paying $15 a lead and realized I just paid $5,000 for those leads to that one car, I would have been livid. And I definitely. So
Sid, I know you and I have been charging $600 a week, and guys, I don't think we can do it anymore. Just being straight and direct, if you're in our 1% group or other groups, with Craigslist changing the model and charging $5 a post, and that's on the negative. Then on the positive, Backpage letting you put free dealer feeds in up to a certain volume. It's kind of a new world, and I just don't think we can get that price anymore. So personally, I would lower the price to a flat fee down just under $1,000. call it 750 to $1,000, and I arbitrarily said 795, but I don't think there's a wrong answer on that. If you see you're driving a lot of calls and your strategy is really working, then in that case, I would look at your pricing when you call on another dealership, and I'd raise it up. But this is just to make sure that you have enough value. And we've always had, hundreds of calls on the automotive side, but it's an uncertain time right now on automotive. And so based on that, I would rather be somewhat conservative to leave the door open for other sales. So just my 2 cents on that. Yeah, Ron, we'll share it out after the cruise, you guys, Ron or Annette and people like that. We do it every now and then. We are actually revamping. Some of our coaching group has seen it, but we've added in a new coaching.
He's asking about 1% for everybody who didn't know.
Yeah, yep. So Ron Blackwelder and Annette had asked about the 1% membership group. We'll share it out at some point. But let's just focusing in on automotive pricing. Sid, the flat rate, I mean, that story tells it all. I mean, I know I've heard that before, but could you imagine if you were doing per lead and all the calls were only from one car?
Well, with automotive inventory, it's kind of the 80-20 rule. You know what I mean? It's going to be the high-line, high-mile cars that get a lot of calls. The older high-line, clean, older high-line cars tend to get a lot of calls. The, obviously the Hondas or the Toyotas get a lot of calls, opposed to like a Buick or something like that. But,
So what I would do is a great question from Ralph Morris. So the back page is going to be unlimited. You're going to be able to feed it in using the XML data feed. And we won't get into that on this call, but you'll be able to feed it in basically for free. On Craigslist, if it's being posted by the dealer, they've unfortunately gone from free to $5 a post. And as much as we hate it, it is what it is. We can't change it. And as a result, Ralph said, would you charge $7.95 plus the $5 cost per post? I think so, Ralph. I might build in X amount into the $7.95, like 40. And then I would do the unlimited back page and some other stuff. I would package it, I would come up with your own little mix, but I would allow for additional posting at X dollars per post. You know what I mean? So because you'll have to pay that fee, and they already know it, so it's not like it's something you don't know, or excuse me, they don't know. But no, it's a very good question. Let us jump back off automotive. So this is a great one for flat pricing, and I'm going to talk another one that you can do flat or per lead in a minute. Sid, let's see. One sec. So here's air conditioning. This is kind of an interesting model. So you got repair leads and install leads, and they make a lot of money on install, and repair they do okay. Don't let them tell you. Two discrete leads. This is basically what I'm charging people. I was at $32.50 on installation and kind of raised it up a little bit. I think Service Magic on shared installation is in the low 40s. So these are just things to consider and think about, not hard rules of thumb. Yeah, Shane, these are exclusive. Yep. All right, so let's see if we got any comments. Sid, anything on air conditioning you want to talk about on the pricing or any way to segment that?
No, it's funny you said all this because we talked about this yesterday or the other day on the call you weren't on. I personally said that you should charge more for installation leads.
Oh,
because they are. Their revenue is, it's way higher,
So, okay, so painting. Now, guys, I just pulled a few that I've quoted and done, and that's where these are coming from. So these numbers are not copied from Service Magic. Now, I did base my pricing on what Home Advisor Service Magic was charging for shared, and as a result, I looked and came up with some exclusive numbers. I talked to some different contractors, and kind of how I got my numbers. So interior painting, Sid, do you have a painter in your group right now or no?
Yes, I did. Yes,
so
I did.
Any comments on interior painting versus exterior?
Well, we started trying to run his ads, and we started writing them more heavy towards commercial and exterior because this is what happened. He got bogged down with ladies calling them going, I want my guest bathroom painted. And they want to get it done for $100 because they think, it's only 4 little walls, but with painting, it's actually cutting it in. If where they go around each
blue
wall,
tape
each
and all
corner.
that, sure.
That's the hard part of painting. So a bathroom, really costs as much as a bedroom. It's not really, rolling paint across a big flat wall. That's easy. But so he got bogged down a little bit with that and got frustrated. So we started really pushing his ads towards exterior painting. He also did pressure washing. So we did exterior paint, pressure wash. We advertised like retaining walls, and tried to get him some better leads. We charged that guy $450 a month flat rate, and we held him for 3.5 months. And then once the winter started coming, he broke away. Plus, he landed a huge government contract in Alabama.
No, very cool. So when I looked at painting, and I don't work with painters today, but I came up with painting based on I know how many painters that Nick works with, and I see how many calls they're getting. So as a result, it's an interesting niche. I just haven't had the time to pursue it. This is kind of what I came up with on my own end to price it. And yeah, for one room, if somebody just wants one room painted, you're going to be hard pressed to get the painter to pay you the $30. You're going to either have to have a number that's like $5 in those cases, or something real low. Else you'll burn your client.
Yep.
You know what? I'm seeing some questions. Let me pause for a second, Sid, and let's look at these. So if they have if you have two HVAC guys, is that considered shared or exclusive if you're not doing the round robin or multiple numbers features? Jim, yeah, if you're sending the same lead to 2 people, that would be shared. If you're sending the lead to one person, it's exclusive, whether you round robin or multiple number, whatever you do. If one guy gets the lead, it's exclusive. If more than one guy gets it, it would be shared.
Right.
So, I mean, easy enough. Here's a great question from Shane. I'm going to defer to you on this one, Sid. This is a tough one. How many leads would you promise at the flat price on automotive? It's a tough one to promise anything, Shane.
I wouldn't promise anything.
You got to avoid that because, you get 400 in one market and you get 50 in another market.
And here's the truth. The same market that you get 400 in, one month you might get 100. I mean, it just fluctuates. There's, it's like the stock market. It moves, I mean, unfortunately, it's just not something that's guaranteed like that. I think making promises will get you in a trick sack.
Yep, I completely agree. Yeah, we just don't. We have over 50 automotive clients at one time, and we've dropped down a little bit on automotive leads. We called it inventory syndication, Shane. We did our darndest to not promise. And we would use numbers like, we would give them a range sometimes. Sometimes you may get 25, sometimes you may get 500. And what we would tell them is the truth, is it depends on your inventory.
It depends on the inventory, and you could show them some other clients and say, you could have this success too, or maybe better, but you got to sell. You can't talk them out of it. You don't want them to hate you, but remember, you got to sell the deal. So I wouldn't get too technical into that.
So good enough. Let's see. We talked about gyms. Yeah, Mike, the only way, it's a good question on repair and installation leads is to listen to the calls and or have some kind of honor system.
Run a separate number.
You could do a separate number, but then what happens is sometimes a repair becomes an install. Happens a lot in AC.
Right.
Now, it may not in other niches, but in AC, all of a sudden the cost to fix goes up, and they're like, shit, I'm just going to get a new one. And that's kind of what happens. So you got to, I would definitely split test with different numbers as much as possible. I'm with you on that, Sid. It's $1, for a number, so why fight that?
Yeah. And
let's see. It's the same, Mike, same thing on interior, exterior. You're going to have to listen to the calls. And I listen to them. It's actually pretty cool when you go through them sometimes. Let's see. Somebody asked about recordings. They should be in the members area. We'll check that for you, Ken, and try to.
And I've been posting them in the group.
Yeah, Ken, if you go in the Facebook group, I bet you'll see the direct link in for you so you see it, Ken Fong. Okay. So we talked about automotive, Sid. I jumped ahead earlier. So I will tell you guys that I recently learned, so car dealerships have this concept of a data feed or an inventory feed, which is like they call it an XML file. It's just the way the data is formatted. And they have this formatted data that can be pushed out, if you will, to other sites like eBay, Craigslist, Backpage, places like that. And Backpage is trying to be an up-and-comer, right? They're trying to go after some of the business that Craigslist is turning away. So they reached out to my team, and basically one of the account managers at Backpage, no ghosting, no silliness, nothing like that. They will automatically syndicate my client's inventory on the Backpage for free up to a certain volume, and it was a lot of volume. So I thought it was pretty cool. If anybody's interested in that, I'll be glad to share it in the group. But it's one way to kind of add a lot of value to automotive. Once you set the feed up, you don't really do anything. As the feed changes, the posts go out. It's pretty cool. So easy stuff, and you can look like a rock star that way. Shane, I actually don't get it. Sid, will you explain the concept of like the data feed that most of them, they use a third-party company, right?
Yeah, there's and they came out quick. A lot of people made a bunch of money, but basically, it's a company that comes out and you can buy like 5, 10, or you buy 6, 9, 12, or 15 picture packages. They come out and take pictures of each car every way at the same angle, and interior photos, quarter shots, side shots, front on, head on, back shots. Anyways, then they actually upload those. They upload those pictures into a software or onto a page. Well, they also then VIN decode the VIN and print out, and a lot of them will put those option stickers on the side of a used car. Where you got your as-is sticker, and then next to it has like the options, the miles, and some information about it. These companies are doing both of those. So they're taking all your pictures and they're posting all your stickers into your cars, and then you pay them. They normally cost about $15 a car. It got down to about $12 a car there for a while, depending on which picture package you went with. But then they have your feed. So autotrader.com, cars.com, your website, anybody that needs your inventory goes through this feed company to then populate their page with the feed. So you can tap right into that feed and post it up on Craigslist.
So if you guys look, I actually shared my screen. We don't play. We do this as full-time as we can. This is from yesterday, and the rep reached out to me on Monday the 6th, and I didn't know this until just the other day. And the beauty of this, he gives me the pricing up to 50,000 ads a month, free. Pretty nice, huh? 50,000 to 100 bucks a month. So pretty cool. They're looking to fill. Sid, you said it pretty well. They're looking to fill the gaps that Craigslist creates when they make a rule change.
Yep.
So I'll grab this information and share it out in the group. Just not this second. Let's see. All right, another cool one, could go flat rate on this as well, as moving companies. Anytime the price is real low, you can always consider going flat rate. Same thing, if you were to charge a dealer, if you somehow could convince him for per lead, it's going to be a low number. They're not going to pay you a ton per lead. It's just how it works. But we all are familiar with moving companies, the local ones that'll move you, from your home or your apartment around the same city or then cross country. Typically, a lot of leads are generated in this area, and so as a result, the cost is lower. No, that feed on Backpage, guys, is available anywhere. They reached out to my Fort Lauderdale group, not even to me in Atlanta. So that was Annette, I think, asking that. So moving companies, the only thing I would add about moving companies, you guys, is they're a little bit on the unsavory side dealing with them. I think I've had my worst experience in internet marketing dealing with moving companies. Moving companies and some affiliate marketers, but let's say moving companies are actually worse. I feel like I'm dealing with the mob. I may be dealing with the mob. It's pretty crazy. So just keep that in mind. This is a good one, an interesting niche. Once again, I can see a flat fee model. Sid, I mean, you work with the one that Nick's crushing it with 3, 4, 500 posts or 500 calls. I mean, this mobile mechanic, you guys, is ridiculous. I'd never even thought about it before.
Yeah, the guy was a guy that when we were flipping cars, we would have him. You know, he was our mechanic that we used quite often, and he was one of Nick's Polish friends. So Nick charged him a flat rate. Now, could you charge him a per call? Probably, yeah. But it was Nick's buddy, and I think he charged him $300.
Yeah, no, I actually based the exclusive priced on Home Advisor, but yeah, I like a flat fee model here. And the beauty of this is you're going to generate calls a lot more than you ever would think. I had no idea this was such a hot little ecosystem. Never would have guessed. All right, got a couple more. Let's see. Next, all right. This one is apparently quite cutthroat. I don't work with any septic tank companies, but I met with a guy that is hardcore septic tank, 15 locations, which basically means 15 guys that each have a truck at their house that do this work, and he creates different
It's like
addresses.
printing money. That's a cash cow business, man. They get $300 to pump it out. It's just a nasty business. It's a dirty job.
Really much.
But $300 and a lot of these new neighborhoods got their, the attachment right there in front of the house. You unscrew it. It smells like death, the end of the world, and you pump it out, and it's, there you go.
But yeah, when you look at it, guys, at $18 a pop exclusive, you're cheaper than Home Advisor. They make, well, Sid just said $300, $400 for that work for a repair or a clean out. Now, a new installation, you're going to get more, but that's going to be uncommon. Most of your leads are going to be clean outs. Probably second to that would be repair. But let's say you get 30 calls at $18. It's not bad. 500 and change. This is a volume business. This is not a kill it with one client. You're going to have 10, 20, 30, 50 clients, each bringing you a small amount of money, and a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there, and the net of the cumulative of all the clients is what adds up. If you remember with Frank Capuzzo from Orlando, he's got a large number of clients. No one client does it for him. It's the combination of them all. I don't know if Frank's on the call. He may be. Let me see.
Frank's a worker.
Yeah, no, he's not here. So let's see. Now, Ralph just said gives you greater ad variety per client if you have different ads for different variations of the service. Completely agree. Yeah, you want to, you want to look familiar. You want to look, for people that are shopping over a period of time, but it's cool to have some variety of phone numbers and ad types. And it just helps to get that person who's on the fence, but they're thinking they weren't going to order from your first ad, but then you do something different in your other ad and you got them, and then they call, and they think they're calling a different company. But it's a good one. Septic tank, no-brainer, very lucrative, like Sid said, cash business. Now, I've never met a plumber that looks like this lady here. Most of my plumbers are a little different, but plumbing is pretty lucrative, generates a lot of phone calls. It varies. I would advise you to base your pricing off Home Advisor, come in a little cheaper than their shared pricing. So typically you're going to be in that $18 to $25 range, depending on your market. Do a little bit of shopping, but you'll see this. You'll see this to kind of hold true.
The cool thing about plumbing calls is rarely does somebody call just because they decided to get another sink or they want a new faucet put in. It's more of a, holy crap, my kids can't take a shower and they're going to school. You know what I mean? It's kind of a emergency call, so you tend to kind of get a little bit better rate there.
Yeah, it's not as much negotiation when you don't have running water or you don't have a toilet that flushes, your house is stopped. It becomes kind of important. Hey, Sid, great comment from Annette. She saw somewhere either in the Facebook group or somewhere online that you should only stick to one niche. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's important to kind of establish your niche, you know what I mean, and make yourself, you know, like known for that ability. But I mean, as all y'all know, I'm an automotive guy. I sell to automotive 98%. But you know, with what I know and what we learn and what we are doing, you know, I didn't pass. I had you know, I got a roofer. I've got, you know, I had the painter guy. You know, I didn't pass. I don't pass a deal. I take revenue down when I see it. Yeah, you know what my niche is? An earner. You know, I mean, that's my opinion. But
Yep, I think you guys all have to think about it. You know, for sure. You can do variations on one niche for sure, Annette. And I I don't think there's a right answer to that. I think it depends on who you are, what your motivation is, you know, what your bandwidth, your availability is. A lot of people say, hey, drill down and focus on only one thing and you're going to do that better, whether it's reputation or search. I kind of believe it's a different world. You got to be more of a holistic agency now. But
well, I mean, look at
that's
Wild
okay.
Wings. They got great wings, but their hamburgers are good too. You know what I mean? But they're known for
Sure.
how great their wings are. So I think it's okay to be known for a certain niche or service, but I don't think you should be limited to. Imagine if you went into a restaurant and, you know, all they served was a hot dog. How many times would you eat there?
Not often.
Give them a little bit of a menu.
Here's a good one, guys. You may not think about, but assisted living. Interesting. Adult daycare around the $25 range, but actual assisted living homes where, you know, a family member may decide to move into a facility, lucrative, very, very lucrative. Marketing that with the means we talk about in local lead driver, supplement it with SEO and video, very, very lucrative niche.
Obviously, they can afford pet ducks.
Yeah. Is that a real duck? I think it might be. I grabbed that. I don't know where I got that picture from.
I
But,
see somebody was asking about a divorce attorney. I'm speaking in behalf of what I've overheard with, you know, being buddies with Nick and hanging out with him often. He's not had success with DUI type attorney stuff.
so I know DUI attorney and divorce and a few of the other niches,
Personal injury.
bankruptcy specifically, work, but they may not work in the directory model. So in that case, you'd want to use video and other things to really supplement. So if you're just getting started, I'd stick to keeping it simple. But if you're a little more advanced and you're comfortable, it's absolutely something you can do. But, you know, Nick's going to know. And if it's not pulling well just with directories, you're going to have to be prepared to go with SEO, landing pages, and video. Yeah, Alejandro just said speeding tickets work pretty well, so that's cool. Jim, concrete and cement does work. I actually talked to Nick about that myself.
There's big money in cement.
I don't know a lot about bail bonds. Sid, anything? Dr. Keith was asking about that.
I personally don't think it would work, just because if somebody's Googling, they're going to Google bail bonds. I don't know that Craigslist is going to be the thing that pops up, but you got to try it. I don't know 100% for sure.
Yeah, Annette's asking, so if the niche, so you're saying the niche working depends on if it can be sold with Craigslist and Backpage. In the context of local lead driver, yes. In the broader context, you can layer in other things, you know, SEO, landing pages, video. I'm just saying for the purposes of the call, that's what we're saying.
Hey Brian, let me mention a scary thought that everybody can consider real quick. When Nick and I would go to Florida and buy cars, right? And we weren't really sure, like we knew 4Runners and Tacomas sold well, but like maybe we had our eye on a couple of Civics. Nick would post the ad before we left to even go buy them. He would post a Civic and just watch the calls on it. So if you're curious about some of these niches or like bail bonds and stuff, post an ad. See how many times the phone rings. You know, it doesn't mean you got to answer it. You can just kind of watch and see how many calls you're going to get on it. So I know one time we were contemplating over this Eclipse, and you know, it was a great deal. But he's like, dude, we didn't get any calls in 2 days. So I was like, yeah, we got to stay away from it.
Yeah, and that's asking where would you send the number, Sid, in that case? Yeah, looks like you already answered it. Okay.
Yeah, you send it to anything you want.
Yep. All right. So obviously a hot one, I'm not going to belabor it, is roofing. Repairs are inexpensive, low value leads, but the installation, those are the gold.
Yeah.
Big money. Sid, you got your guy Kurt. This guy is literally building his business and living off this work, isn't he?
Yeah, that's 100% of his income comes off of Craigslist. Now he's been in business for a little while, so he does get some referrals, and but yeah, no, he you know, quote, he said, and we're gonna try and get him on a call for everybody. He talks real fast and almost sounds Cajun, and he's not. He's from Illinois, but he's like, Sid, I wouldn't be in business without it. So.
Like it. Let me see if we got any comments on roofing. I mean, this is a lucrative one. These guys get hit up a lot. You're going to have to use some of the sales strategy. Very good point, Dr. Keith. 100 calls costs you $1 to test. Not bad.
What's going on with those shingles on the right side? They're kind of looking funky.
Hey, man. You know, I'm a graphics master. Let's see. I don't know what they're doing on that right there. That is crazy, huh? Let's see. Now, this one is another one you probably didn't think about, but it pays big money. Major remodel jobs. Basement and kitchens are lucrative. You'd want to split by ad. Basement, kitchen, garage. But here's a basement shot. But these things, you know, you just pull in 10 of these a month, you know, that's 500 plus revenue right there.
So is that basement mold? That mold in the basement and stuff? That seems to be taken off.
Mold. Oh my God, mold testing and remediation is. I had an SEO client for a couple of years like that, and his credit card kept bouncing, and finally I just punted him. But very lucrative as well. Yeah, mold abatement, Dr. Keith said. Yeah, you know what? We'll do some questions for a minute. I think this is the last example that I took out of my list because I don't have 1,000 niches that I personally do. Let's see. Yeah, Jim just said hard money lenders. Jim, you're right. The high interest loans for like real estate investors, I don't know what the legalities are posting the ads in terms of interest rates and promises, but assuming that flies, I mean, that's pretty lucrative. There was a time when I used to use hard money investors and I would buy properties, fix them up and sell them. A couple I refinanced and held, but definitely drives a lot of calls. I think I called everybody I could find trying to find the right place. It's a good point. Yeah, here's a great comment. Dr. Keith said, you know, roofers typically do a little bit more. They'll do siding. They'll do
gutters
and some gutter work.
Yeah.
And Dr. Keith also pointed out remodeling. But my own roofer that I have in Florida does water remediation, water and fire. He does roofing. They actually, just because they're slow different times of the year, he brought on 2 plumbers, and he's expanded the business so that no matter what time of the year it is, he always has activity coming in. His is a little different, but they also do a lot of gutters. Now, he's not as happy when he gets a gutter call than when he gets a roof call, but it is what it is. What do you think, Sid? Do you think we can get somebody?
Yeah, well, I want to put out kind of a homework assignment that I think would be really valuable knowledge for all of us.
Let's do it, man. Talk to us.
All right, let's everybody, please, post an ad in any niche that you can think of. It runs for 72 hours and just don't renew it. But anybody can run a local ad in their market for something. Just pick a niche out of the air. It doesn't matter what it is. You can do the remodeling or you can do something else. You know, don't try not everybody to do the same thing, but everybody pick a niche, post one ad for 72 hours, and let's count how many calls it gets. Can we do that? So basically the next call when we come back from the cruise, we'll be able to, everybody will say, okay, I did plumber in California. I got 4 calls on one ad. And we'll get an idea. Because, you know, if you start doing it right, and if you have Nick doing it, he's going to post it 3 times a day, and you're going to get way more than what that one call does. But so that way we're all measuring equally. Post one ad in your market and count the calls. You can run it to a track phone. That's what we did a lot of. It shouldn't cost you that much. You can even run it to your own phone, whatever you want to do. You can run it to a number. You can not answer it, however you want to do it. Can we get everybody to agree and commit to do that? I figure if half of you do it, we'll get a good response here. All right. See, Paul's going to do it up in Canada, so we'll be able to see what's going on in Canada. Will and Annette, awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, Dr. Keith and cool, you guys. Excellent, Shane. Yeah, it takes.
Now, is that lower Alabama or Los Angeles or Louisiana?
I bet he's in. Or it could be Louisiana, but he's in Cali.
Nice. All right. So I think this will be good information that we can share. And, knowledge is power, and it'll only give us all better understanding and maybe, influences to what we want to push towards in the deal. So.
All right. We're going to take one or two people who want to come on live. We'll add you right now if you want to just ask a question or maybe talk about your specific situation. This is kind of something we like to do, keep it real, and opposed to stuff we want to feed you. We want to make it about your business. So let's see if we have anybody on today's call that wants to come on, Sid.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Mike, we'll take you, and let's start with Mike. Hang on. All right, I'm just trying to find you in the list, Mike. Hang on one sec. I got you. Hang on. Hey, Mike, can you hear us?
Me?
Yep.
How you doing?
Good. Nice to have you. Where are you from?
I'm actually in Middletown, Delaware.
Very cool. Awesome. So what are you focused on? What's your business about right now?
Well, I'm mainly doing this right now. I've not done too much local marketing. I was in reputation, but I decided to ditch that and focus on this after I found this. And I'm just going to probably focus on plumbers, used car dealers, and maybe some roofers. I'm not really sure right now, but I'm probably going to start with plumbers since that's probably the easiest thing to target.
Pretty easy. Yeah, you know what they need. The ads are easy. It's really just a consistency game. You got to have the different numbers in the varied ad posts, and it's a numbers game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I do want to do some prospecting. I haven't really practiced too much. I was going to practice on some people in the group, but I didn't really have too many people that were willing to.
Well, do you want to do one right now? Sid's a master. I prospect with him all the time.
Sure. If I'm a little
no
nervous.
pain, none. He's way easy. I promise. Unless he wants to be mean, and then it's a bad day for us. But yeah, why don't we? All right. So Sid, do you want to be a plumber, and Mike will call on you.
Absolutely. Hello.
Hey, Sid. My name is Mike Acaviva. I'm a local marketer living here in Middletown, Delaware. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome.
Great. Well, I see that you're using home advisors for your leads. How many leads are you currently getting a month?
We're getting about 15 to 20. Some months we do a little better.
So is 15 to 20 a good price for leads you consider for your business?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but I can always use more.
Okay, so if I was to show you a way to double the amount of leads you're getting using my specific methods that I'm about to go over, would that be of interest to you?
Well, what kind of leads do you have?
Well, my leads actually, I use different various advertising networks online, like Craigslist, Backpage, etc. And I actually use a tracking number in my ad, and it will actually ring your business. So these are exclusive leads for your business. And so if you're using home advisors, and how much are your leads on home advisors, you said?
Well, I think we're paying about 25. I don't remember, to be honest. So these are direct call leads, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, these are direct exclusive leads
Okay.
to you. Exactly.
Okay.
So your number would go, the number in that ad would go directly to your business, and we would actually track your business, the calls to your business, that we track the leads in the system that we're using, and any call that's over 40 seconds or just 40 seconds would be counted as a lead, and any telemarketing calls going to your business would not be counted. So does this sound cool?
It seems fair. How many leads do you think you can get me?
So you're currently getting how many leads per month, you said?
I think we're getting 15 or 20 from Home Advisor.
Well, I can get you 30 leads. I can
Okay.
get you more than that. I can get you more than 20. So
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sounds good to me. How much are you going to charge me?
Well, how much are you? Let's see. How much are you being charged? Or how much? How many?
So I think 25 at Home Advisor.
Okay, 25. So how about $30? I'm sorry, $15 a lead for compared to Home Advisors, and we'll charge $5 less per lead.
So $20?
Yeah, $20 a lead would work. Yeah.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right. So, and I was easy on you. You know, just, we'll push back as we start doing this more, but you know, I wouldn't say Craigslist back page. There's no reason to give out your secret sauce because then the guy's gonna think, well, man, I can just do that. You know what I mean? So I would say I post on hundreds of various web pages and service sites. You know what I mean? I really get the message out there, and these are people that are in the market for your services immediately.
Okay.
It's not, I don't take the information and then give you the information for you to call back. We actually, we do a direct dial where we'll dial them straight into whatever phone number that you give me.
Okay.
And you know, I'm set up to where it'll actually whisper and let you know that this is one of my leads. So you'll know, you know, a little bit of how to handle it as it comes in. Now, the good news is if somebody calls in and hangs up, or if somebody calls in and they got the wrong number, or for any other reason, the only reason why we have only calls that we actually qualify as a lead is if they go over 40 seconds. Now, if it's a telemarketer that calls you and goes over 40, just send me a message. I'll comp the lead to you. We're not here to try and make money. I only want to you know, get paid for doing work for you, doing good work for you. Now, I know you're paying $25 at Home Advisor. You know, I know my leads tend to be a little bit better than Home Advisor. I generally get 30 in your market, but I always want to be the guy that beats every deal, and I want to make a deal today, so I'm going to beat them by $1 just so I can say I beat Home Advisor. I like to do that where I go. So $24 a lead.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good, Sid.
Now, is there a cap on leads that you would say, okay, I'm done? Like if your phone starts just blowing up, is there a certain number of leads that you know for a fact you can't handle?
Probably about 20 a week. You know, it's kind of gets to be a little crazy.
Okay, so we'll put a limit of 80 leads a month to you, and you know, I've got systems in place to where I can, you know, once you fill up with your 80 leads, we'll just start directing them to somebody else.
Okay, yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I just got to get the hang of it. You know, just got to keep.
It's practice every time, man. You just got brave. You just got in front of a bunch of people. So.
See, I'm confident. It's really figuring out what to say to the person. You know, I want to just call up someone right now.
The second we get off this phone, you need to start calling somebody and figuring out what it is to say. That's the best thing you can do. But you sounded good.
Cool.
All right. Good.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, great stuff, Mike.
That's my dog. That's Kramer barking at my buddy Jason Ames, the endodontist. He just stopped by. We haven't seen each other since Christmas, so whatever.
All right. Well, cool. I'm going to mute Mike, and thank you, Mike. Excellent. Very, very good. Let's see. Biggie said, is that an ACT feature, Sid, or would you manually watch the number of calls and manually change the forwarding number? Sid, I missed what you said. Can you comment on that?
Where it has a limited, where you can make it where it only does a certain number of calls, and then it'll position them to go to somebody else.
Yeah, and she's asking, I haven't used that feature, so ACT?
Joe Troyer said it would do it, so I'm 99% sure it would do it.
There's so many features in that product that at the end of the day, you can get really crazy. So Mike, good feedback. A lot of people loved it. So we're gonna wrap up. Let me see. Let's do Dr. Keith real quick. He wanted to come in, so give me 1 sec. And Dr. Keith, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, can you hear us?
Hey, can you guys hear me today?
Yep, we hear you good.
Fantastic. Sorry about the other night. My laptop completely locked up when you made me live.
Kind of way it goes.
The question I had, have you guys done anything with any type of tree service, tree trimming, emergency removal?
No,
I
but
have not, but I've been a
yeah,
customer spending an obscene amount of money on that before. I got a lot of trees
big
in my
money on
yard.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
big money.
that's what I'll be running an ad on this week then.
Yeah, it's lucrative. I've had a couple different times where I spent over 2,000 getting stuff removed. Even just one tree, the big ones are $300 to $500.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's money there, and I have a friend that owns a tree service, so gonna rock with that.
Okay,
Did
excellent.
you guys want to do a role play?
Yeah, let's do one. Why don't Sid, you be the tree service, and Dr. Keith, you're calling on Sid's tree removal and pruning.
Ring, ring.
Hey, what's happening? Hello.
Hey, Sid, it's Dr. Keith here with Quality Business Leads. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
Hey, I'm calling you because I'm running into some extra leads, and I was wondering if you guys could handle my overflow capacity.
Well, possible. Tell me what you got.
Well, I got exclusive leads in your local area. I see that you guys are already using Home Advisor. How's that working out for you?
It's working out okay. I mean, we're getting a pretty good number of leads. We're getting about 10 a week.
Okay, great. And what are they, charging you for those puppies?
Well, they're a little bit proud of them. They're charging us $40, but I got to get leads. So,
unfortunately, did you know that Home Advisor is also selling those to about 6 to 12 other people at the same time?
oh wow.
So I don't know if you've run into this, but a lot of my clients have run into where their Home Advisors, they're selling them to their competitors and them at the same time and double dipping on you. What I offer is an exclusive lead that's going to be just for you. And right now I'm running, about an extra 2 to 3 a day. And I was wondering if your business could handle that extra capacity.
Well, what price are you selling for?
Well, what were you paying with Home Advisor again?
$40.
$40. Well, it is a higher quality lead, but I really like to beat Home Advisor. So let's do this. How about, can you handle $39 per lead?
Well, I was kind of hoping that you were going to beat their price, not hit right up there with them. I mean, they're already kind of gouging me on those leads. I mean, they're not.
Okay, I tell you what. Let's meet halfway. How about $37.50 a lead?
Halfway of what?
Halfway between.
Give me a range of how low you
$1
can go, from $37.50 to how low.
Well, let's see. How low can you go?
I mean, I'll do business. I don't mind taking some leads. I was just trying to get a range there.
Well,
So
I tell you what. Let me do something kind of crazy here. Let me give you the first 10 leads for $25 and see how they work out for you. And if those go well, because I'm also not going to count a lead for a telemarketer calling you or a call that's less than 30 seconds. So I'm going to give you 10 leads at $25, and if those work out good for you, let's go back to the $39 price, and you're still going to be saving $1 a lead.
I'll try them out at $25. That sounds good.
All right. Let me get you set up. What's your best number for me to direct route these to? Also, what we provide is a recording service. So, if you've got somebody that's working the phone that doesn't know how to handle these calls, we can take a look at that and maybe increase your business maybe up to 25% if you got somebody that's on the phone that doesn't know what they're doing.
That sounds good. Well, yeah,
that's the added
definitely wanna talk
bonus
about
with
that.
my quality lead. And you're going to
That
get
sounds
all of
awesome.
that for that $39 price after the trial.
That sounds
So,
good.
you ready to get started today?
I'm in.
Great, let's do it.
All right, good job, man.
All right, I like it. Thank you, Dr. Keith.
Thank you. Glad to
Awesome.
finally get to do some role play again.
Yeah, and we'll do a couple more live role playing calls next week, where week after, the whole call will be role playing. And I know we had some other people volunteer. I'm going to mute Dr. Keith, and what we're going to do, guys, is we will set that up. No, there were no ringers, Shane. We do know Dr. Keith. We chatted with him in Facebook and stuff before, but Yeah, tree service, that was out of the blue on us. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get you. We'll get you. We'll do a call where we have 10 to 15 of you guys, and we'll do it till we're blue in the face if we have to, so that you just feel very, very comfortable. Because it's not hard. You saw how easy Dr. Keith handled that. He did very, very well.
Yeah,
so Sid, I'm gonna hand it over to you to wrap up, and I'm excited. We'll see everybody on the next call.
Yep, that's everything, man. Earl, we're going to be jumping with you, buddy. We got to jump on that too. So got a call starting in about 11 minutes. But hey, listen, the main thing is make sure you do your homework assignment so we can all share and share information with everybody. That'll help us all. Second thing is, when in doubt, get off the phone right now and make a call and find out. Okay? So rock and roll. Thanks, everybody.